Do you layer it, or do you just go, here I am?
Babe, you think I'm saucy, don't you? No, I layer it.
This week's guest is TV presenter and model Annaliese Dayes. We chatted sample sales, dressing for America's Next Top Model, and how more is always more. Hope you enjoy.
Gorgeous, gorgeous Annaliese, thank you so much for doing Off the Hanger. I am super excited to delve into your wardrobe. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. So let's start off with your earliest fashion memory. Have you got any really strong childhood fashion memories?
So, I mean, I don't know. My mum, I don't know what she was doing in the 80s, but clearly I was like her little dolly. And there were several like dresses that I had that really stand out, particularly this yellow lace ruffle number. And I actually got some photos to show you because it is pretty impressive.
There was always a dodgy colour going on in the 80s. I remember always being put in a lot of peach. And with my hair colouring, would you put me in peach? I don't think peach was the colour for me.
I don't think they were working on the skin tone analysis thing at all.
We've moved on since then, I feel.
Yes, we have indeed, thank God. I feel like most people are going to have those childhood photos of like ridiculous outfits. And I think that's part of the fun. I know that when I have a child, I will in turn be dressing them ridiculously because that's the job of a mother as far as I'm concerned. This is...
Oh, look. And you're coordinated with your scrunchie and everything.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There I am in all my glory.
You look happy though. You do not look unhappy.
I don't look happy in that one though.
Slightly less pleased about the yellow there.
I just think it's the most ridiculous outfit to put a child in because like, you're not keeping clean, you're not keeping tidy, and all those ruffles, they look like they were itchy. I don't recall. I think I was about 3 years old, but they look itchy.
This is why we end up traumatized by certain things. You then just end up with an aversion to things. I bet you've never worn yellow lace since, have you?
Never. I don't know if I could pull it off, to be fair.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you'd style it out.
You know what's funny? I'm now thinking that one of the pieces I have that best sums me up is somewhat close.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to save it. Save it. We'll get to that. Okay. A little teaser. What's the oldest thing you've got in your wardrobe? Do you tend to hang on to things?
So, I do tend to hang on to things. However, in the last few years, I've had to be very, very careful because if I hung on to everything, my wardrobe would be exploding and it already is. So I tend to kind of donate and pass on stuff quite often. But I did find something that I believe to be the oldest piece in my wardrobe. And I only worked this out because I believe I wore this on America's Next Top Model, and America's Next Top Model was like 10, 11 years ago. So, do you want to see it? It's here.
I absolutely do want to see it.
Okay. So, I mean, clearly I didn't shop anywhere great because this is just this little jumpsuit number from Miss Selfridge. As you can see, it's really bad fabric because you can like see through it, but I really love it. And so I refuse to get rid of it.
Do you layer it or do you just go, here I am?
Babe, you think I'm saucy, don't you? No, I layer it. Usually like a polar neck or a t-shirt on underneath. No, we're not going full cavity out. No. I
was gonna say, because that's not my vibe either. I tend to, like, I don't have much going on up here, so I tend to kind of keep it covered. Whereas I know some people are like, oh yeah, a bit of tit tape and I'll be fine. I didn't know. Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I do have some pieces that I don't mind a little bit of tit tape action because I too don't have a lot going on up here, so I find it a little bit less offensive, but not this one. This one, no.
That is super plungy. Oh, amazing. So in what context did you wear it in the show? What were you doing?
So when in an elimination, so we were obviously just allowed to wear our own clothes. I say we were allowed to wear our own clothes. We actually weren't to some degree because we had to wear these dodgy Union Jack t-shirts every single time we went to elimination, scarred by these t-shirts. Because obviously when you go into America's Next Top Model, the first thing that came to my mind anyways was what am I packing for my outfits for elimination? And this Union Jack t-shirt just messed up every single outfit. As you can imagine, it went all right with that one.
Yeah, you're like, right, here we go. I'm meeting Miss Tyra. Here's my big moment. I want to look absolutely like, and you're like, here's a Union Jack t-shirt. Oh.
Ew. And it was like on a royal blue background as well.
Oh.
Royal blue, really ugly, obnoxious Union Jack. It was a struggle.
The struggle was real. Well, at least you had taken something you could layer it with, so you could kind of style it up a little bit.
Yeah,
so
don't look at any of the other outfits though, because they were all atrocious.
But were you safe that week? Did the jumpsuit, keep you in?
Yes.
Oh, well, then that's fine. That's fine. It's like your ghost outfit, isn't it? You have that moment of when you get dressed every morning. If you die, that's going to be your ghost outfit.
Yeah, that's why you've got to wear good underwear, babe.
So that would have been your thing. If that had been your elimination outfit, you probably wouldn't have kept it. You'd have been like, I'm not so keen on this one.
Exactly. I love her. She's still here 11, 12 years later, because I'm sure I got it before the show as well.
And have you worn it recently? Do you still wear it?
I still wear it, but I can't remember the last time I did. I'm not going to lie. But that, obviously, I have a lot of stuff in my wardrobe. And I tend to get dressed with the idea of, oh, what haven't I worn in a while? I just haven't got to her yet. Because I do like to try and utilize my wardrobe as much as possible. Because if there's something that it's been a couple years and it hasn't been worn, it's time for it to get donated, whether that's to a charity shop or sell it on Vinted or something. I just feel like clothes should be worn and shared.
Absolutely, they really should. I always think it's really sad if I find something in my wardrobe and I'm like, oh, I feel really bad for you. You've not been worn in so long.
That's not what their purpose was. They don't want to be in a wardrobe. No.
They need to be out in the wild, being appreciated.
Exactly.
So what's the thing that you get the most compliments on when you wear it? I bet this was a struggle, wasn't it?
Questions. They're quite difficult because for me personally, Emma, it's hard to pick a specific item because so much in my looks is all about the entire outfit, like how I've put it together. So it all just depends. And then obviously getting compliments, I think a lot depends on your confidence and how you feel when you wear something. But I bought something recently and I wore it the other weekend and I must have been out of my house for about 15 minutes and had 3 people say how much they loved it. So I thought I'd show that to you.
Amazing. Yeah, let's have a look.
Right, so, I mean, it has a little story, but it's this dress.
Now, you see, I saw this on your social media and I straight away was in your comments going, oh my God, that green dress is incredible.
It's incredible. I'm actually just going to give it a little bit more airtime because, like, look, I mean, really sort of there, but it's just amazing. And so basically I ended up getting this from a sample sale. It was a designer pre-loved sample sale and the zip was broken. It's by MSGM, who I hadn't actually heard of before, but their dresses sell for like £500 and I got it for, was it 25? Yeah, £25, and then it cost me like £15 to get the zip fixed.
Amazing. What a bargain. You see, I am a huge green fan. Obviously, anybody who follows my socials, or I'm always in green. I love a green dress.
It makes sense with that hair, babe.
My obsession. But I'm also like a faux leather lover. So when you put it on your socials, it's like, oh my God, I'm dead. I love it so much.
Yeah, she just gets the compliments. If I'm feeling down, that's the piece I'm going to put on because first of all, it's going to feel great because it's like a nice bright colour. But then a compliment, I am always here for a compliment. Yes. Yeah.
Power me with the praise.
Exactly. I feel like the highest level of compliment is from a gay man with sass. If he gives you an okay, you know you're in the right look.
You've done it right. You are owning that. You have put it together well.
That's how I strive to get dressed every single morning, with that in mind.
Now, what's the most expensive thing you own? You don't have to tell us how much if you don't want to, but you can share.
Oh no, I'm an open book, babe. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to turn around. It's a bag.
Ooh, nice. Oh, hello. Come on now. I love that, like, it's a bag. It's not just any bag, is it? Look at her. She is fabulous.
Oh, she smells so good. Love her. But again, mulberry bag, but from a sample sale. So this is where I get most of, when it comes to like designer high-end stuff, most of my things do come from sample sales. Like I refuse to pay full price. I'm not quite there yet. Do you know what I mean? I like to feel like I'm getting a bargain. Although this bag is still very expensive. I think it was about £450.
Mm-hmm.
But she's Python. Shh, no one come for me. I'm sorry. She's cute. And she just needed to be got. I just love her.
I love as well, it's not it's a statement bag. I think quite often you can be very safe and play it really safe and go, all right, well, I'm spending a lot of money. I'm going to go for a classic that I can wear over and over and over and over. But that's not your vibe at all. You're a statement kind of girl.
It's a problem, to be fair, because I do end up with loads of statement things that are then a challenge to put together because everything is like fighting with each other. I do have to focus on getting more basics, but at the same time, as you know, my style is like more is more. So we just keep it going basically with the more is more. Absolutely love that bag. I wouldn't even say I wear her that often, but when I do,
Don't you feel special though when you have something like that and you do wear it and it's not something that you get out all the time, but you feel really special from it? I think that's really important. I think people forget how your clothes can make you feel and how they can influence your day.
I mean, that is literally at the heart of the philosophy for me when it comes to clothing and making people feel good. Some people look at clothing and getting dressed as this really like surface level thing that, oh, you're so shallow, etc. No, I believe that clothing, styling, accessories can transform your confidence, how you interact with people, how you feel, your mood. And we're in tough times right now, so anything that can help you feel a bit better, I'm like, yes.
Absolutely. It is really overlooked. I think people do overlook it as something that's quite frivolous and, oh, you're into fashion. Oh, how, superficial. And actually it's like, well, let's dress you in a really boring, horrendous outfit and see how your day goes. And then let's put you in something fabulous and see how your day goes. It's completely different.
Yeah. I also believe that you should dress for the life you're trying to manifest.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what's the newest piece you've got in your wardrobe?
You must be sick of me talking about sample sales, but again, it's a piece.
I love it.
That's my favorite. Yeah, from that same sample sale, the Box London sample sale, because that was the last time that I bought stuff.
Is it the pack or a bun? Yes, I was hoping you would show this. Honestly, I have to just say, I'm not a complete stalker of Annaliese. If you're watching this, I just follow her socials and she posts these things and then I'm obsessed. Look, why would you not be obsessed? Look at that.
I mean, let's just give her a little bit of space. Like, come on. It is the most awkward dress I've ever put on in my life, but fabulous. I would never have bought this full price. I think it was like £2,000 full price.
Yeah.
But it was falling apart, like some of the kind of buckle bits had kind of fallen apart, so there was like a gap at the back, but I just went in and fixed it with safety pins. I bought it for £15. £15. 1.5.
Oh my word. I hope, that you are using a rental platform and renting some of these out, because for a £2,000 dress, you could be getting like £150, £200 for somebody to rent that off you for like 3 days.
Yeah, I do know a really good rental place where you loan out your clothes and stuff called Loanhood. Really amazing. But I don't know. I feel like I'm a bit scared to lend that one out because it's really hard not to break. I've to put it on and then just take one wide step and you'll probably have a bit that's ripped off.
Oh no. Oh, but it's so stunning though. And what a unique, special piece to have. You're never ever going out and seeing somebody wearing the same thing as you in that, are you?
No, never. And I just keep on thinking of all the different ways that I'd actually style it because, of course, it's meant to be a dress by itself. I actually wore it in the Maldives one night, which was amazing because I just wore like a little bikini underneath it. But if I was going to wear it here, I'd feel like almost you just get dressed underneath it. Put on a pair of jeans and a T-shirt and then slap that on top.
It's very, very cool. What an amazing bargain to find, though.
I love a bargain.
I'm totally here with you. I think you said before, you're like, I'm not quite at that place yet. I don't think I would ever be at that place. I think my tight northernness and my obsession for a bargain would ever prevent me from going, oh, I'm going to Bond Street and I'm going to spend 10 grand. I'm not here for that. I'd be like, no, I'm going to go to 5 sample sales and I'm going to spend 500 quid and get all the best stuff and be so excited that I get the bargains.
No, I agree as well. I even have the thing about bags and stuff. Like, I can't see me rolling into Gucci and dropping like a few £1,000s on a bag. I would rather find one second hand that's got a bit of a story behind it. And like, hopefully the point would be that then not everybody has it. I like the search. Like, the search is part of the thrill for me.
It's that reward of it. And I think that's the thrill of a sample sale. It's knowing that you go in and there might only be one thing of that. And the fact that you found it and it fits and it's the right size and that it's the, the excitement. Are you quite sentimental when it comes to your wardrobe? Have you got a most sentimental piece?
All my pieces are my children.
Nice.
um,
That's how I feel
yeah.
about my shoes.
Yeah. It's very hard for me to pick like the most sentimental piece, but I decided to go with a dress that I wore for my legal wedding ceremony. I just think it's amazing. And it's actually a dress that I wore to the fashion awards back in like 2019, maybe. So back a while ago. And basically I went to the fashion awards with my Wardrobe HQ, which is again another rental place. And so everybody that they invited were allowed to pick dresses to rent to go to the award show. But when it came time to give it back, I was like, no, it's not going to happen. And then I ended up buying it at really reduced price.
This is mine now. We have a connection.
Connection. I even had somebody message me who was trying to rent it through the platform, and they obviously told her that I had it, and she was like, I really want to wear it, blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm so sorry, babe, this ain't going back. Look, I'll get her for you. He's already on a mannequin as well.
Oh wow.
I mean, she's not doing most justice there, but as you can see, there's a lot going on.
Beautiful.
Zimmerman, open back, rippled to perfection at the bottom. Should I try and pick up my mannequin so you can see that? I mean, watch her fall on me now.
Why not? Let's give it a go. I'm sure you can send me pictures afterwards anyway. So, it's beautiful. The colour of that is just glorious. It's such a rich, kind of sumptuous colour. It's beautiful. I love that you're hugging her.
Yeah. it's the ripples, it's the ruffles, it's the layering. It's like a work of art. There is no way that this could have went back, and I just love it so much. I mean, again, that important to me that I decided to wear it for my legal wedding ceremony. So we love her. She lives in a dust bag, or like, the clothes bags in my wardrobe. Nothing else lives in a clothes bag in my wardrobe.
She's precious. She must be taken care of at all costs.
Yeah.
Now, this is one I'm very excited about. What's the wardrobe item that most sums you up?
This was hard. I mentioned before that what sums me up is generally how I style pieces, because I put pieces together that most people just wouldn't. They'd be like, that does not work. But for some reason, I make it work. So I've got two different dresses for you. I feel like this one.
Come on now, you see? This is what I'm talking about.
Because you understand where I'm going. It's loud, it's bold, it's in your face, it's sparkly, it's giving zhuzh. You've got a cute little, it's a tiny little dress. Like, I'm actually, like, my bum's almost out in it, but I love it. I think it's fabulous. And anybody who knows me would completely understand when I put up that dress as what represents me and what sums me up. I don't wear her that often, but when I do, it's a party.
And I can really see you're not going down traditional styling routes with that. There's no sparkly matching heel going with that. I'm imagining that you've got some really awesome high top trainer or something going with this. This is very, how are you putting this together?
So I actually wore this for my hen do, and we went to a sip and paint party that was, we were obviously sipping and painting naked men.
Wow.
So of course I had to turn up, and I wore it. It was really cold. I wore it with black tights, a biker boot. I had a mesh black polo neck on underneath. So it was almost like grungy meets sparkle.
Love it.
That's basically how.
That's it. I knew there would be no average way of that being styled. It was always going to be something extra. What's the other one?
It's now that I'm looking at it, it is giving lemon lace.
I
call
do
this
not imagine that being in your wardrobe.
dress.
I'm so confused by that being in your wardrobe.
I consider this my Tinkerbell dress. I love this dress. I wore it recently for a friend's wedding in Santorini, and I feel like a princess. There's something about the taking up space in it that I really like. Like, I'm not a wallflower, so we're not gonna fade into the background. We like to stand out. And that dress just does it for me. It is a bit of a weird one, but sometimes fashion doesn't make sense. What can I say?
This is it. That I would say that, though, that's the one thing about you, is that you're a fashion chameleon. I couldn't, other than it being very bold and bright and statement, there's not one kind of genre of fashion that we could pigeonhole you into, because it's always so different. So actually, although I was surprised by that, I'm not surprised it's in your wardrobe, because your wardrobe goes from like here to like here and everywhere in between.
Totally. It's ridiculous. It's fun having that kind of range, because I do feel like it's all about expression. We mentioned this earlier, that it's about expressing yourself. And I literally ask myself, how do I feel today in terms of what I'm going to put on? So you need to have an outfit for all the moods.
That's completely true. Absolutely right. Right, I'm a disaster. I will freely admit I have multiple wardrobe malfunctions and fashion faux pas all the time. I think I am just the embodiment of a mess. Are you the same, or because you're so considered in what you put together, do these wardrobe malfunctions and fashion faux pas happen to you?
I mean, I think they happened to me in hindsight, but at the time, I would have been fully invested. Like, fully invested. Like, for me, my whole teenage years was probably a huge fashion faux pas. There's definitely nothing in particular, but just I've always experimented. And so on that day when I put together that weird outfit with the polo neck that clashes with this, I would have felt £1,000,000. But then you look back at it and you're like, oh, there's no taste level.
I like that you're embracing it at the time. You're just like, this is who I am. There's no shame here. I'm all good.
Yeah, I stand by my dumps or bad outfits.
So, what are your favourite shoes? Obviously, we've spoke Sophia Webster. I know that they are, in and amongst the collection. But who's your favourites? Oh, Kat McConey, look at those.
Okay, so, I mean, how do I even... I mean, they speak for themselves, really. Kat McConey was a brand that I always used to follow on socials. And then again, I found that she had another sample sale coming up. So there I was, ready to go. I just love them. They just make me so happy.
I love that her designs. Great heel. This is it. Her design. She's always got quite a substantial heel. You never got the fear that you're going to break your ankle in them. But they're always so different to what everybody else is doing. No one's ever going to mistake them and go, oh, are they Fendi? Are they Louboutin? Yeah. What are they? Instantly, you know that's Kat McConey.
Yeah. I actually wore these when I did the fashion segment on Lorraine, my first ever appearance there, where I was doing like a jeans edit. And Lorraine was like, oh my gosh, where are these shoes from? She was absolutely obsessed. And I mean, you can see why.
And I love that you've probably... How long have you had them?
Not long, maybe a year.
But I still think it's really nice when you're doing something that's quite a landmark in your career, like your first appearance for Lorraine doing the fashion, that you can go into your wardrobe and pull out something and go, they're going to make me feel dead good then. I'm going to be on there and I'm going to have all the confidence and I've got some great shoes on. And I think that's a fabulous thing about fashion, that it can make you feel that way.
Exactly. I mean, it's completely what I stand for. And I love the fact that I will remember that I wore these on Lorraine forever. Like, that will be the outfit. That will be the thing that I remember. And so again, when people say that fashion is just this superficial thing, no, it's not, because it's a memory that you're going to carry with you and you just can't put a price on that.
is there something that you're lusting after? Is there a dream wardrobe item that has not yet come your way?
Don't get me wrong, I'm always on the lookout. I am always looking out for things, but honestly, there is not a list that I've like collated with everything on it. I think that when I know an item and I see it, I'll know. Does that make sense? I don't think I explained that very well, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
there's not
constantly drawn to things rather than a long time lust affair.
Yeah. And even if I was to find something that I liked, I would always, especially if it was a considered purchase, I would always wait to see if I could find something like it or something similar somewhere else, whether that was on a secondhand platform or wherever else, because I don't know, I'm just not into the buying these expensive items new.
No, I'm not.
But yeah, so I'm not really like, I'm not that girl who's adding things into their cart and just leaving it there to manifest itself. No. If I like something, I buy it. I'm not about, I want instant gratification.
I love it. That's why you love a sample sale. So there's no waiting around. I'm just in and out. I've got the things, all good.
Boom.
So is there a piece of fashion advice that you would give to your younger self?
I don't know if it's too general, but for me, the fashion advice would be to find your personal style and just explore that. Because obviously with this day and age where we're dealing with all these micro trends left, right and center, we're always being pushed something new, something different. And I think that's where a lot of people stumble when it comes to what they're picking, because they're just picking on what they think is trendy as opposed to really understanding their own style, what they actually like, and then developing it from there. And I think when I was younger, I did used to fall into that trap quite often of, these are the latest pair of trainers, I have to have them. We're not doing that no more.
I think that's amazing though. I think that's why I'm very glad that my teenage years were not documented on social media, because there were lots of trends that I went along with, which were definitely not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Back, I'm like, oh God, I'm glad nobody ever took a picture. There were no camera phones. There wasn't 17,000 selfies before we went out. We just went out.
Don't you worry. There is probably like a disposable camera somewhere with all of your memories on them, babe, hiding.
some hideous outfits that I wore that were made from like cheap polyester and disgustingly horrible 90s colours. Yeah, exactly. I'm good for those not being revealed to the internet. So what is next for you, gorgeous Annaliese? What are you doing now? You got more Lorraine coming up? Are you...
Yeah, well, I hope so. This is the plan. I recently qualified as a personal stylist. Fashion is something that is very true to me. Like, it is something that has been a massive part of my life. I've modeled since I was like 12 years old, and I just knew that maybe I needed to focus and home in on that a little bit more. So that's why I decided to qualify as a personal stylist. I found the course so enjoyable for so many different reasons. I think mainly it was because it gave me a little bit of an understanding as to why I think certain outfits look good, whereas before my soul just told me they looked right, but I didn't really understand. But now I understand a lot more about body types and shapes and silhouettes, whether you're petite, etc. And so that has been a real thing that has spurred me on. So I'm going to keep on focusing on fashion. Hopefully I'll be doing more Lorraine segments. Absolutely love that. I'm working on my podcast as well, Emma.
Ooh, tell me about your podcast.
So my podcast is called Oh My Days, What Are We Wearing? And it's basically, they're really short episodes where I talk about different issues within the fashion industry. Along the way, I kind of talk about my journey through fashion and modeling and how I got into that. But also just discussing these topics and dynamics that aren't necessarily the most popular, but at the same time quite interesting. So it's literally just like a little solo chat with myself. Episodes are about 20 minutes long, and I'm really excited about it for sure.
That sounds incredible. When does that launch?
So, I mean, please don't hold me to it. It's so scary, isn't it?
The pressure!
I know. Ideally, beginning of next year. So that's what I'm working towards.
Incredible. Right now. That sounds amazing. We will make sure that that is linked in the description for this as soon as it goes live, because
Perfect.
I will be subscribing straight away.
Yay!
Brilliant.
My first subscriber, yay!
Hey, you've got one already. Oh, it has been so lovely for you to show us around your wardrobe. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, babe. This is such a great idea, and I'm just happy that I can support.
Oh, thank you, babe.